D-Lo for boxing. Shout out to the LDBC. Hey, so it's being talked about that Dominic Breazeale and Dillian Whyte may be fighting coming up within the next couple of months. It's nothing's finalized, nothing solidified. Right now, it's just being kicked around that that's a possible fight for both guys. You know, possible fight for Dillian Whyte would be fighting Dominic Breazeale. For me, it makes logical sense. Dillian Whyte is ranked number one by the WBC. Dominic Breazeale is the number three ranked WBC contender, but Dominic Breazeale is the mandatory, which he was in that position prior to Dillian Whyte becoming the number one ranked contender. I want to say Breazeale became the mandatory by beating Eric Molina, if I'm not mistaken, and I think that was on the Wilder Stavern undercard, if memory serves. But after that, Dillian Whyte made some moves and paid some sanctioning fees and beat some opponents ranked in the WBC, under the WBC rankings, and eventually moved into that number one position while Breazeale kind of sat idle. But being ranked number one doesn't make you the mandatory, and there was some confusion there, because Whyte felt like he should be the mandatory. Well, if these two guys fight, that clears that completely up. Once they fight, the winner, if Breazeale wins, of course he stays the mandatory. If Whyte wins, I'm sure he becomes the mandatory, which clears that whole conversation up, clears that argument up, clears up the confusion. There's nothing to really discuss there. It's pretty cut and dry. I think that's a good fight. I'm not going to go into who I think wins the fight or anything like that because the fight isn't made. But what I do think is that I think this could be a good fight between the two guys if it's made. And the main reason, more so than anything, that I don't have a complaint whatsoever about this fight is that I have always complained about the top 10, top 15 guys in the heavyweight division not fighting each other. And both of these guys fall within those bounds. They're both top 10 guys in the heavyweight division. So, and they're, like I said, number one and number three in the WBC. So, they're guys that, they're guys that they are guys that need to be fighting each other, is what I'm trying to say. I'm sorry, I got a little tongue tied there. They're amongst the guys that need to be trying to fight each other. There are so many guys in the heavyweight division that are ranked in the top 10, top 15, but they're not fighting other guys ranked in top 10, top 15. They're fighting guys that are, not even showing up in the rankings anywhere. It's like everyone's playing it safe. And I made a video about this probably about 3 or 4 months back. But it's like everyone's playing it safe because they're trying to stay in the sweepstakes for a title shot. Or they're trying to stay in the sweepstakes for a, title eliminator or something. It's like, but that nobody wants to really put in the work, knocking off the other guys that are right there at their level. Everyone wants to feast on the guys that are levels below them. And, that's something I have a problem with. And I think that's stagnating the heavyweight division. So with that said, I eagerly anticipate Dillian Whyte and Dominic Breazeale mix it up. I hope this fight happens. And there's so many other fights in the heavyweight division that I want to see taking place. We've seen Deontay Wilder and Luis Ortiz fight. We've seen Anthony Joshua and Alexander Povetkin fight. We've seen Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury fight. And even Anthony Joshua and Joseph Parker when Parker was ranked, high and had a title. So, we've seen that stuff, those type fights, but we haven't seen the guys that are a level under them mixing up with one another. And that's what I think has to happen because at the end of the day, cream is gonna rise to the top. But if these guys aren't fighting each other, you can't tell. There's no way to definitively say that this guy is the best guy in the division, or this is the best crop of guys in the division. You just can't really definitively say that when none of the guys are mixing it up. Or you can't say that these guys are the best contender and they're the incumbents to the champions. So I'm eagerly anticipating a lot more fights like Dillian Whyte and versus Dominic Breazeale taking place. But we got to stop giving these fighters out to blame it on the promotional company or blame it on the network deals and stuff like that. These guys have to fight each other, because at the end of the day, when you got a division that is small as the heavyweight division, you know what I'm saying, and these guys don't have any other division to go to. They can't go up a division. Most of them, I'm sure, can't go down the cruiser. I mean, this is where they are, and they need to get busy fighting one another. That's all I have to say on the subject. Shout out to the LDBC. Shout out to my subscribers. Again, this is D-Lo404 Boxing. Please smash that like button for me. Drop a comment in the comment section. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button and hit that bell icon. I'm out. Peace.